In the meantime, the clock is still ticking. At the end of the week, federal workers are due to get another paycheck, but that looks very unlikely given how bitter the standoff is. And that means airports could get even worse than they already are in some places. In fact, we're told a record 10% of TSA workers called in sick over the weekend, and that's slowing down security lines in some parts of the country, potentially jeopardizing the safety of passengers. Maybe, I don't know, it's really security theater. It's more annoying than unsafe. And a bipartisan group of governors is now warning that some states are running out of money to help the poorest Americans. So what will it take for each side to work in good faith to end this whole mess? Joining me now, Republican Louisiana Congressman and Chairman of the Republican Study Committee, Mike Johnson joins me. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, Kennedy, great to be with you again.
So let's talk a little bit about some of these legislative solutions. Sean Spicer and I were talking about some Senate Republicans. What are you doing to reach across the aisle to some of your Democrat colleagues who aren't quite as entrenched as Nancy Pelosi?
It's a great question. I appreciated and agreed with everything Sean said. This is raw partisan politics, and it's a real shame. The president's reached out in good faith. He's trying to make this happen, and Pelosi and House Democrats are just not sending a volley back over the net, so to speak. So it's broken down. So what we're trying to do as Republicans is work with Democrats, people across the aisle who are reasonable, who understand we really do have a problem at our southern border and with our immigration laws, and address this in a piecemeal fashion. So I'm among a number of legislators who have filed, members of Congress who have filed legislation in the last month. I introduced 3 bills to address some of the loopholes in the immigration law. And we're working individually with Democrats trying to reach some consensus so that we can continue to move the ball forward on this really important issue.
And where are you finding the most consensus with Democrats? Is it Democrats who are legislators in border states, or is it in states where the president won handily in 2016?
I think the border state legislators, if you talk to them individually, members of Congress, even on the Democrat side, recognize that we have a problem. You know, we say that it's a legitimate humanitarian and national security crisis. Nancy Pelosi will not agree to that. You know, that's a talking point to her, but it really is true. And when you talk to individual members, a lot of them recognize that. So they're willing, for example, to work on closing the loopholes in the asylum program. It's a real problem. Everybody objectively who looks at that acknowledges it. And the bill that I introduced last week, we actually got passed through the House Judiciary Committee in the 115th Congress, the last one, in bipartisan fashion. So there are some areas for agreement, and we're really hopeful that they'll do that. And in terms of the overall negotiation, it's sad to say this, Kennedy, but I really think a lot of the national polling that will come out over the next few days this week in reaction to what the president has offered might dictate what Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats do. Unfortunately, they're playing politics with it, and they're appealing to the base rather than trying to work on helping these federal workers.
You're absolutely right, and it's most intriguing for people who are watching this, particularly those who are most affected by the shutdown. It's most intriguing seeing lawmakers from different parties come together and work on practical solutions. And that's really the only way to tackle immigration. You can't do it with histrionics and with emotionalism. Nancy Pelosi, and I understand that she has a very firm grip on her caucus to the point of smothering them and forcing them in lockstep. But it seems like she has lost her ability to negotiate. And if Nancy Pelosi said, you know, well, we have a really hard time sending a signal to our neighbors to the south that we don't want good people coming to this country. What I do like is ... ABC, more drones, more border agents, you know, selective fencing, something like that. But she hasn't even made that move. And I think if she did, that would go over pretty well with your caucus. Now, having said that, I think some of the ideas that you have, I don't think you can have comprehensive immigration reform. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I think you're absolutely right. I think you have to do it one piece at a time. So if you're going to tackle the first piece with some bipartisan consensus, what is that first piece?
Well, 3 of the bills that I introduced this month, I think, are doable. One is to clean up the asylum loopholes, and the problem is the credible fear standard is too loosely enforced. And so anybody coming across the border who wants to come into the country, they know what the magic words are. You just claim you have a credible fear of some sort of persecution in your home country, and you almost automatically get in. That's what the statistics have said the last few years. The problem is they come into the country and they're turned loose while they wait 2 or 3 years for the adjudication of their case. And when that ultimate adjudication is held, assuming they show up for it, only about 20% of the people actually qualify. So we have to clean up that standard.
Slow bureaucracy that's a magnet for corruption. Now
Amazing.
I've heard it all. All right, well, we've run out of time, but thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it.
We're working on it. Thanks.
Thank you.